you want to admit it or not, we are in a cultural revolution in this country. It is a slow-rolling cultural revolution, and thankfully, we've got a largely conservative Supreme Court and a functioning Bill of Rights in this country to slow some of this stuff down and stop it if you choose not to engage in it. Unfortunately, too much of the Fortune 500 has decided to become complicit in the left's cultural revolution in this country. LinkedIn has removed a training seminar that told people to be less white after a backlash at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola had included it in a diversity training seminar. Coca-Cola decided that it needed to get woke. This is from Fox News. The LinkedIn training seminar made headlines this week after screenshots of slides were shared on social media about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is forcing employees to complete online training, telling them to try to be less white. These images are from an internal whistleblower confronting racism, understanding what it means to be white, challenging what it means to be racist. In the U.S. and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel they are inherently superior because they are white. Research shows that by age 3 or 4, children understand that it is better to be white. To be less white is to be less oppressive, to be less arrogant, to be less certain, to be less defensive, to be less ignorant, to be more humble, to listen, to believe, to break with apathy, to break with white solidarity. Try to be less white. That's from Coca-Cola. Hello, racists. They've apparently decided they've got to start dyeing the polar bears a different color because they're too white. Can't have them in the Christmas campaign this year. God help Santa Claus. The slides featured texts on what is supposedly it means to be less white, claiming white people in Western nations feel inherently superior. The seminar featured interviews with white author Robin DiAngelo of the book White Fragility. A spokesman for Coca-Cola told Fox News on Monday the seminar was not part of the company's learning curriculum, but it was offered to employees as part of a broader training on diversity, equity. Notice. They no longer talk about equality. They've moved the goalposts. Equality is you and I are equal. Equity is now we got to take it from those nasty and give it to the other people to make them be equal. We gotta repossess. We got to take property. Amazon stopped selling Ryan Anderson's book. It's a highly regarded book. I've read it. I've got a copy of it. When Harry Became Sally, responding to the transgender moment. It actually does a very good job fairly outlining the arguments. One of the things I've always noted about conservatism by and large is we tend to be able to articulate the other side's arguments better than they can articulate ours. We try to understand their positions on abortion, even if we disagree on transgenderism and the like. Meanwhile, they just decide we're hateful, bigots, and bad. Ryan does a great job in the book. Amazon has not only decided not to sell the book, but Amazon is barring anyone from selling it on Amazon. You literally cannot sell this book through Amazon. They will not distribute it. They will not allow it into their computer system. And they refuse to respond publicly as to why. They will sell Hitler's Mein Kampf. They will not sell Ryan Anderson's When Harry Became Sally. We're in the middle of a cultural revolution. I have long contended that conservatives should be weary of regulating the marketplace or technology companies. I have rapidly been reconsidering that as we see corporation after corporation after corporation falling in with the cultural revolutionary elements, hoping that they will come for them last. I think we have to be willing to distinguish between companies, but I also think we have to recognize that big tech is picking a side, and it is the side most harmful to the First Amendment. And if they're going to become enemies of the First Amendment, they become enemies of the American order. And something is going to have to give.